Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Azizdrives. Today we have the pinnacle of luxury SUV design, and it's the Land Rover Range Rover Vogue. Before we start with the review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, check out our Instagram, TikTok page. Let's start with the design. This car is actually called the Land Rover Range Rover. There's also the Land Rover Defender, also a Land Rover Range Rover Evoque, and then it's the Range Rover Sport and the Range Rover Vogue. But the original car from 1970 was just the Land Rover Range Rover, which this car is the fourth generation of. So it started in 1970 with the first generation was built up until 1994. Then the second generation came out in 1994 up until 2002. Then they built the third generation from 2002 to 2012, and this is the fourth one, 2012 to 2022. There's one later model, and it's called the Range Rover Vogue again, and it's the one you have seen with the BMW engine. But this is something else. This is the last Range Rover before Tata, before all of that, with a little bit of the Jaguar vibes. So let me take you through the design. The design has always stayed the same. It's very nice. It's a very beautiful car. We have a very pretty face in the front, big headlights, openings here in the middle with the Range Rover logo. Then of course a little bit advanced, facelifted here with the LED lights, very nice. But then something that you can tell a Range Rover and a Range Rover Sport apart is this part here. This design element separates the two, and also the two-tone that you can choose with the latest model. You can only tell it with the length of the car, the design on the side, and the rear taillights. What I love about this car, for example, is the line it does. So it's a very nice line that comes here by the end of the headlight, goes all across the place, integrated with the bonnet, here on the side of the door, through the whole shoulder line and connecting here at the rear, where you can also tell that this is a Range Rover Vogue, which is the ultimate luxury SUV. So the Sport is kind of a utility vehicle, as you can call it maybe. This is the luxury, the pinnacle, the biggest, the highest, the most prestigious one. And that is the beautiful face it has. They have updated this car because they've built it for 10 years. They updated the taillights to LED taillights and all of that, and went into the P400 with a hybrid system, etc. But this one is actually the first one that came out, the plain one. What I like also is, this is the pinnacle. So let me open the trunk here, for example, the boot. You have two separated boots. You can lower the car, for example, so you can actually put stuff in. As you can see, you have to press this button here, and then you can load the car up. Something also that is very interesting is you can lower the front seats, the passenger seats of the back, with a single click of a button. So I press this button here, and it actually lowers the left and the right seats if I want it simultaneously. So now I can load it fully with all the stuff that I have to store. But if you have a Range Rover Vogue, you actually don't do it yourself. You just call somebody, because buying this car is actually very, very expensive. It came out originally in about 200,000 Swiss francs, so it was a very expensive car, and now it is appreciated catastrophically, and you can buy it for around 45,000. Let me pop the hood and show you what the engine is all about on this very beautiful Range Rover Vogue. So for that, you have to open the bonnet here, zack, to reveal to you actually the SDV8, which is a 8-cylinder, 4.4 liter diesel engine producing 339 horsepower and 740 newton meters of torque, able to accelerate this 2.5 ton car from 0 to 100 in 6.9 seconds, tops out at 210 kph. Fuel consumption, they say around 8.5 liters, but I don't believe it. It's around 10 to 12 if you're driving normally. It's a big car, it's a little bit old, so it's going to use a little bit more diesel. And how that sounds, you'll find out right now. Welcome to the interior of the Range Rover Vogue, the pinnacle that they have to offer in terms of beauty, design, luxury. So let me take you through what we have inside this cabinet. Leather and Alcantara all over the place, starting with the seat. This seat is so comfortable. It's such a comfortable seat. It has such a nice and unique smell when you sit inside of a Range Rover. It is in general a very pleasant place to be. It's a little bit different than other cars. It's difficult to explain because you have to experience it yourself. Sitting in a Range Rover, you have this big steering wheel, also covered in leather with a little bit of this wood application at the top. Black, very nice color over it, so it has a nice feel. Then you have this big steering wheel. It feels a little bit like a bus steering wheel, so big it is. Very nice design actually, and everything feels so, it feels simple but still somehow high quality. So leather on the dashboard, leather here for your glove box. You don't open the glove box in the normal way. You press a button, it opens the glove box down here, and you have another button to open the upper part, so that is very nice. Then close it down. Here you have also very nice leather covering the airbags and all of that. Beautiful steering wheel on the side of the door. Also Meridian sound system like in a McLaren. Top and bottom for the surround sound system. Then leather in the armrest. You have a second armrest here to adjust it for yourself, whether you're driving like this or you're driving like this, or you just want to drive like this. You can adjust the seat fully electrically. Of course, it is a massaged seat, that is also clear. And what is also nice is you can actually tilt or move the seat forwards and backwards if you have back passengers that you want to transport, maybe your children, maybe your granny or your whatever mother, whatever. Plus the carpets are wool, for example, which is also something I've not seen a lot. I've seen it in the latest BMW i7, I've seen it in a Bentley, and I've seen it in the Range Rover Vogue now. So very nice. Alcantara on the top, leather on this handle here. You have so many things to look at. And this is an utility vehicle that is very fancy. Then we have the driving modes, which I went a little bit into a deep dive while driving in the driving's review, that you can choose from. I like to keep it in auto because auto is going to find out about everything itself. Whether the terrain is uneven or whatever, it's going to adjust the traction control and everything so you can drive normally. You have a low gear ratio, you have the ASL, which is going to help you with a decline. But when you're driving it, it has this kind of this flavor, this sense, this emotion. It's very elegant feeling that is difficult to explain, and I hope you will drive one of those just so you understand what I'm talking about. And then of course you can open the roof here, press the button, open it fully, enjoy a little bit of sun, enjoy the wind going through your hair. Very good. And that's it for the front part. The infotainment system is from 2013. It's really bad. They updated it 5 years later a little bit. It has you can see the pixels. It's really not that good. It was programmed by them, no Apple CarPlay, none of that stuff, so it's really bad. I want to show you one driving mode in specific, and it's the air suspension. I will put the car into the lowest position, so if you want to load the car with stuff, groceries and whatever, you can put it into an entrance mode, and then we can raise it up to its highest position so you see the difference of the road clearance and why this car is actually a good SUV. So for that, we start it up. I press this button so it can lower, and let's meet outside. So as you can see now, the car is lowering, and it's actually doing it so fast. I have never seen that before. Going down so fast. This is the entrance mode. You can see I can barely fit 3 fingers through here. We have a very low road clearance. Check it out when I put it into the highest suspension mode. That is really fancy. When I close the door, it goes up pretty fast. Look at that. It's insane. You can literally tell that the car is lifting itself up. It is moving the tires back and forth. Look at that now. You can fit easily 2 hands here. Before we put 3 fingers in, we couldn't reach it. Now we have 2 hands. That is very nice. And look at that. The road clearance is very good. So this is 300 millimeters of road clearance for all the off-road you need to do. All right, friends, unlike in a G-Class, you actually have space in here. You feel nice, you feel great. It has plenty of space, and you can even adjust the rear seat over those buttons. Very nice. And you can even adjust the pressure point of your back with the press of a button. Then you have a very nice feeling here. You have a bunch of charging ports down there for your phone, for example, your climate control that you can steer yourself, and you can actually heat your seat at the back. That is very good. And you can cool it. And if you don't have any third passenger, actually, you can just put that down, and you have your cup holders here, which are designed very nicely. We even have aluminum down there, so that is very good, man. Look at that, very easy, very chill. What is also nice is, as I said before, if your granny is sitting here and she needs a little bit of more space, you just press this button, the seat moves forward, and you have the Meridian sound system in the front. So if you're listening to music, you will hear the sound actually coming from the front, from the side, and from the back for you to enjoy. And you have air vents here on the side also, in case you're not feeling very well. Put a little bit of the vents here on your face and enjoy it just like in a plane. It really feels very nice sitting inside. It really does. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. Some storage compartment here, some storage compartment on the side of the door for drinks, for bottles. Plenty of space. I like it. And leather all over the place. I mean, even where you put your seatbelt in, it's covered in leather. They just strapped it over, but still, they took the effort to do it. That is a big go for the Range Rover.